Coming next, Dave, the boy who played the harp, part 3 of the reaction. So, yeah, just going into it, yes, we've had 2 parts already. This one will have the final 2 songs. I think it's Fairchild and The Boy Who Played the Harp, the final song of it. But yes, it's been good so far. If you've been enjoying it, you know, and you want to enjoy, or you just found this one, I do have 2 other parts of the reaction, so you can check them 2 beforehand, and it has the other 8 songs, and this one will be the final 2. But we're going to start with Fairchild. Let's get into it.
Yeah. She was 24. Last week told me something you can't be ready for. I'm on the death of our innocence. I'm on the death of her innocence. Let the Henny pour.
Okay.
Some weeks ago she was in a cab. I felt sick to my stomach, cause when I listened back, driver was acting all forward. I should've drawn a line. She was worried about it. It happens all the time. All the time, said it happens all the time.
Crazy.
A little conversation, that's just all it is.
Crazy.
Ask a couple questions and he'll call it quits.
Crazy.
He ain't even have to ask her where she lives.
Crazy.
She was headed to this venue with a couple friends, and I was working late, said I'd collect her when the party ends. She got into this no phone party. You know the ones where guys have their phones and all the women there don't. I threw one of them last week, so I don't wanna speak. And when I think about this shit, it cuts deep. You see, Tamar, she like my little sis. So when I asked her to explain to me the story, she said this. I caught a vibe with a guy and then from the off, but something was off. Offered me pills and offered me shots and off of my head. Didn't even say if I was sober or off of my head. I could have danced for days, wouldn't have been no surprise. But let's have a good night. They turn to have a good nights when all the men start drinking. And then they feel entitled to more than opinions.
Yeah.
You know how that goes, a man come to the girls like, fucking, let me get your snap in it. Add me back in it, fucking, what? What you doing after this? What you want? What's wrong? Why are you moving so stiff? Come back to the AP, what friend, what? Don't worry about her. You ain't her dad, that's long. I follow her home, call her a cab and what? I feel like I seen you before, what? You from Bex, you know, Thames, fucking. Are you getting back to ends and I ain't saying that's weird? But it kinda is. She busy throwing up, he's trying to take her to the crib, but that's the culture of the club, right?
Crazy
All
work.
games fair. And if she don't like it, why she there? These times she just wanna go home. She don't wanna go alone with no battery on her phone, and all her friends are trying to stay. Cause they're going to somebody's after party in a house that's out the way, and then she blacked out.
Oh, crazy work.
She was gonna leave with them, but something felt off, and then she backed out.
Backed out, come on.
When I heard about the time she tried to make her home alone, she said,
At Archway, I got out the car. It's quiet and I'm walking up this long hill.
Oh, no.
Faint sound,
No.
cold chills.
No.
I swear I just heard a familiar voice.
No.
The side of the club,
No.
outside of the club.
No.
Was it that first cab? I swear I know the voice.
No.
Think fast, that's my only choice. He's coming up, I hear him running up. I ran and I tripped, I fell and I buckle. My belt in a buckle, my keys in my knuckles. He's grabbing my hair, I'm screaming to stop. I'm hitting him hard, it's turning him on. The burning's gone, my body is so cold. I'm frozen in fear, accepting my fate. His hands on my waist, I think that I threw my keys.
She's rhyming well though. She's got a good flow. But goddamn, reality of this life, man. Yo, it's crazy. The men out there who think like they can do stuff like this, you know. And it's like we all have mothers, and you know, I have a sister. I have sisters, you know. I have sisters, cousins, a lot of females in my family. So you hear this and you're like, it's crazy how you like what entitlement do you feel you have? Like how do you get to these levels? You know what I'm saying? And you know, it dates all the way back. You can even date this all the way back to slavery. You know, when you have these. It's just it's crazy. Women in general, obviously, but like, you know, especially black women. It's some. It's hard to listen to.
In fear, accepting my fate. His hands on my waist, I think that I threw my keys in his face. I ran and he chased. I stumbled on a group of 3 that were leaving. I ran towards them, didn't notice that my feet, they were bleeding. And that's when I called, praying that you be there recording. The only person that I know who's up at 3 in the morning. I sound mad, but if you ain't a girl, I guess you don't know the feeling of of watching what you wear because you're worried about making it home. Walking with your phone to your ear and you ain't on the phone. Can't walk on the same side of the pavement alone. Everyone's a fucking good guy and they're making it known, but I'm just making it known that if you ain't a girl, I guess you don't know the feeling.
Yeah.
Checking the child lock or seeing the air tag. A 5-minute walk home feeling like 5 miles. Maybe if these people would police our cities where they police our bodies, then maybe fucking hell. Maybe every woman that I know wouldn't be stuck as well. Danger doesn't look like no killer in a mask.
No.
It looks like that flirty cab
Driver.
driver.
Yeah, just a normal person. You know, it's not just crazy work.
Our bodies, then maybe fucking hell. Maybe every woman that I know wouldn't be stuck as well. Danger doesn't look like no killer in a mask. It looks like that flirty cab driver. And guys that feel entitled because you're standing in a section. Short-tempered men, the ones that struggle with rejection.
Yeah.
I knew a girl called that was in so deep she thought violence was affection. I know some women wouldn't want a man's help because so many of them want the same reward for their protection. Danger doesn't look like no killer in a mask. It looks like that kid in the group chat that jokes about, and he won't ever stop because there's no one to correct him. And he might even do it because the system would protect him. Algorithm gonna find some people just like him. They hate women too, okay, yeah, fuck it, let's connect him. Homicidal, femicidal shit on their suggested.
Crazy.
Somebody just
Incels.
asked you on a date, it was your dentist. He just went downstairs and got your number from reception. Used to be nice, said I remind him of his little girl. 2 weeks later, he wants a sexual connection.
Remind me of your little girl. You see how sickening. Sorry, couldn't help it.
Women too, okay, yeah, fuck it, let's connect him. Homicidal, femicidal shit on their suggested. Somebody just asked you on a date, it was your dentist. He just went downstairs and got from reception. Used to be nice, said I remind him of his little girl. 2 weeks later, he wants a sexual connection. Danger doesn't look like no killer in a mask. Who you even talking to? Women hunted down by the people they say reported to. Honestly, I wouldn't have the solitude or fortitude. Try and humanize you, she could be somebody's daughter you. As if that's the reason that them fellas shouldn't slaughter you. God forbid that they offend the people you're belonging to. Objectify you just the way I do in every song. Tomorrow's never wrong. Can't trust guys, she never lied. No men aside, the femicide. The cat calls, the long stares, the kind words, the lines blurred. Call her out. Impersonator, who know a victim, don't know a perpetrator. Am I one of them, the men of the past? The cat called, I spoke in the bars, I'm complicit.
See,
no better.
he's reflecting on himself, and it's something that makes you reflect on yourself as well. It's like, shit, if I did anything like that in my past, man, and you know, in a way that came across in, you know what I mean, like, yo, I'm sorry, like, you know what I mean, because sometimes you might not even clock it, you know, and it's like, yo, deeply, like, you might just feel like I'm just being friendly, or you're just doing, and it's you don't see it in the female point of view or female perspective, and it's everything. You need to be wary of everything. You know, even that story of that girl, Ukrainian girl who was on the bus or train and just got stopped. Like, you just sit down, long day at work, you know, you left a war-torn country that's been taken over, whatever. You come thinking this is where I'm going to be safer. You know, you don't have any prejudice. You don't have any, hatred or anything. You just say, okay, I'm going to sit in front of this guy in front of me. And, you know, ends up you sat in the wrong place and it's faded, and you just end up getting killed like that, you know, out of nowhere. It's the things that you can't do things. You can't do things. Everything's a worry. At this time, you know, going to this place, the way you dress, I mean, you know, some things are more provocative. You could be, get used, because it's like, get used to your time as well, so, you know, adapt to that. But at the same time, it's like, why should you have to adapt to that? It's one of those ones. It's like, yeah, do the best to protect yourself, but then it's crazy that you have to even have that as a way to think about it. Mental.
Lied, no men aside, the femicide, the cat calls, the long stares, the kind words, the lines blurred. Call her out, impersonator. Who know a victim, don't know a perpetrator. Am I one of them, the men of the past? The cat called, I spoke in the bars. I'm complicit, no better than you. I told stories of, you sit on the fence, it's hardly an option. You either part of the solution or part of the problem.
You're either part of the solution or you're part of the problem. It's facts. You know, I think this all starts with you individually, man. You know, you can influence, you know, people like Dave can definitely influence more people on this, and, you know, hopefully the people who are listening to him are able to take this in, and the men's in particular. But it is one of those ones where, you know, the most you can do is what are you doing within yourself before you try to influence anybody. What are the choices you're choosing to make when it comes to interactions, especially at bars and with women in general. You know, look at your own intentions, and that's why this album, in the sense of just the introspection in general, the way it's been reflective and it brings up important issues just like this, it has to be done. Some people are gonna be like, oh, I don't like it. It was too introspective, or oh, it was too serious, or it's breaking this. But it's like, at his level, he has to, especially if it hits a chord with him. It's like he has to bring up these issues and make them aware. Like, these are things that, you know, is Tamar, I think it was his female friend he was talking about here, like a little sister to him, and it's like something that's happened to him. He has to mention this. He has to bring it to the surface. People have to know about it, you know, and it allows us to be able to make discourse and conversation on things like this, things of this nature, because it's crazy work. It really is. But let's move on to, I think the final one here is The Boy Who Played the Harp.
Yeah, I sometimes wonder, what would I do in the next generation? In 1940, if I was enlisted to fight for the nation. In 1960, if I had to fight for the rights of my people and lay down my life on the line so my grandkids could live a life that's peaceful, would I be on that? Would I be front line? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
If I was alive in the 1912 and the Titanic and it was sinking, who am I saving?
Yeah.
Am I fighting women and children, or am I waiting? I wonder. What would I do in the next generation?
Yeah.
Battle of Kabbalah. If they captured me for the sake of my father, would I stand on my honor like Hussein did and then tell them to make me a martyr? Would I get smarter? Forgive my oppressor, stick to the creed. If I got locked inside like Nelson Mandela but never was free, I see a white man dance to rumba. Ain't studied Patrice Lumumba, but get on the stage and sing like Sumba, like Jaja Jaja Sumba. Fuck it. I wonder, what would I do in the next generation? Would I fight for justice? Is it the reason my mum named me David? How can you be king? How can you be king? Don't speak for the people. Them man try draw me out and compare like me and these niggas are equal. I'm a black man and this bozo saying my music's socially conscious. While the man them
Black man and his bozo saying I'm socially conscious, and it's probably likely not a black man saying this. That's the thing. It's like socially conscious. It's what we have to be. It's what we went through. I mean, we can even mention what he was saying there. Like, what would you do in the next generation? You know, what type of person would you be? What type of side would you be on? You know, and you know, because you can either be the person who, lets the women and children go through. You understand you know what I mean? You understand the role that you play. Or you could be those who are scared in that moment and they only thought about themselves in a selfish sort of way, and they went straight to, how can I save myself? You know, what can I do for myself? That's essentially the people, the Titanic, for example. The men on the Titanic, instead of thinking of the women and children, which, you know, you need, usually, that's how it is. You think about the women and children, but they became all, you know, survival of the fittest. I need to get out there. You know, I can't be the one that dies. I can't die this noble death. It's like, and it's easier said than done. Don't get it twisted. You know, it's only when you're there that you really, you know. I would like to think that I would be on the side of let the women and children go first. But until you're actually there, it's a different whole feeling. You know, I can't know for certain until you're sort of there. You know. And then all the other examples that he gave. And then, you know, obviously coming to this whole album has been about him talking his stuff, you know. Talking his stuff, saying, talking his truth, talking his honesty, being introspective, being reflective, which are two words I've been saying throughout this. It's introspective and reflective, and, you know, shedding light on important issues like this. So, yeah, he's like, maybe that's why my mom called me David. It's destined.
How can you be king? Don't speak for the people. Them man try draw me out and compare like me and these niggas are equal.
Yeah.
I'm a black man and this bozo saying my music.
Brother in Christ, stop.
Would I die for our freedom? What would I
Why are you out here? This cat,
do
man.
in the next generation? But I'm knowing the answer. Cause what am I doing in this generation? Afraid to speak, I don't want to risk in my occupation. We got kids under occupation. Our parents, they wouldn't get that. The people that died for our freedom spoke on justice, couldn't accept that.
Yeah.
I talk about the money in all my accounts, so why don't I speak on the West Bank? Remember growing up prejudiced, the damage 7-7 did. Extremists and terrorists, I was afraid of the Taliban. Can't speak out on illegal settlers, now I'm afraid of a shadow ban. What would I do in the next generation? Critiquing African leaders for selling our country's natural resources to the West for peanuts. If they don't hear, they'll feel us. I question what I'm alive for. And can you say you're alive if you ain't got something you're willing to die for?
Yeah.
What am I willing to die for? What am I doing in this generation? I get in my head sometimes. I feel like I'm in despair. That feeling of total powerlessness, I get that sinking feeling.
Yeah.
That good ain't defeating evil. I put their pain on vinyl, but feel like that shit ain't moving a needle. Retweeting people, raising awareness. In all fairness, ain't gonna bring Chris back to his parents, but there's no other option. It's a process, gotta stand and protest. Cause they want man silenced, cause they want man dead, or they want man hopeless. In the next generation, I spoke with my ancestors in the night and I showed them. They spoke with tears in their eyes for the brothers they lost and said it was progress. How can it be progress? I asked them, confused, disgusted. They said, David, just so you could fight this, you know how much suffering touched us. When you got a chance, we come from a time and a place where you couldn't get justice. Had to find peace in the fact that we all answer to the one that we trusted. And in our generation, we did do peaceful protests just like you. Burnt buildings just like you. Did boycotts just like you. Sat in a hostel powerless, did feel powerless just like you. And I know that it may sound strange, but we made some change and we're just like you. I know that you question your character. I know that you suffer in silence. I know that it don't feel right when you go to the club in Victoria Island. Cause how can you dance in a club there's 100 people begging outside it? I know the sins of your father. I know that you're desperate to fight them. So step in your purpose. Speak for your people. Share your secrets. Expose your emotions. You might not see, but there's people that need it. Never demand it. And if God can grant it, manifest it and receive it. Your name is David. And that covenant's sacred. You got a promise, so keep it deep it. That man talking the thing, but I bleed it. Man wanna speak on the scene, but I've seen it. Tried in the fire, but I get some anointed. Kano passed me the torch, I received it. God told me I'm the one, I believed it. Shout hollow man, cause he helped me achieve it. I'm the youngest of my brothers. Father, he's the burden on our mothers. Give these niggas money, see their colors. Don't mix me with them, I'm not the one. Grind and miss the summer when it comes. I'm Abraham, I sacrifice the son. Where I'm from, they sacrifice a son. Hold up, I ain't finished, I ain't done. My ancestors told me that my life is prophecy. And it's not just me, it's a whole generation of people gradually making change. They ain't a greater task. Shift that, make a name, make a start. They'll know what they're facing when they ask. With the will of David in my heart, the story of the boy who played the harp.
Man, I need to read this biblical story for real, man. For a fact, you know, both No Life and Screwface. No Life, Shaq and Screwface. I'm gonna listen to both of them for sure. But that was the end of my reaction. You know, this is the third part. I split it up. Like I said, my PC, I didn't want it to run out of storage on me. If this ran out of storage, it would have been like 20-30 minutes of reactions just gone. So imagine I did it all together would be 30, 20, depending on what my editor edits it down to. So it might be 110 depending, but it probably will have the majority of in them. So it will be as long as these ones in total. And imagine I just went. I did one whole sitting and it all went. Yo, I would have crashed. Would have crashed out, bro. So I thought it's better to be safe than sorry and split it all up. But Dave, obviously, you know, as a black man from the UK, English black man, you know, it's the representation and a lot of obviously connects all of us in the UK, but especially being from an African background and seeing his story and seeing what he's doing, it's inspirational, man. It's inspirational. The influence that he has and everything he's doing is an inspiration. It's something that motivates us moving forward, and it's a good. His positioning is he can shed the light on these issues. You know, and like he said, it's been 4 years or it's been this while. It's sort of, he had to take time to really think it through, like, how am I going to display this, or how am I going to express myself in the best way I can? And he did an amazing job in this album. I really do think he did that, and he shed light on some important issues, you know, from racial issues to issues with women and not misandry when there's the hate against women and stuff like important issues that need to be mentioned and put out there. He wasn't shying away from that. He spoke about himself. He was very vulnerable, very vulnerable, very honest, very truthful of what he's been going through mentally, and his lack of purpose and what he was the way he was trying to find his purpose. And even in this last song, The Boy Who Played the Harp, that's something that he goes deeper into of what he's here. He's here for a reason. He's here to speak for the people, David. He's here to speak for the people, speak on behalf of the people. What would he have done? He wonders, he reflects on what would he have done in previous generations. But that opening, it's like it brings you along the story of his thought process of what would he have done in the generations of the Titanic and those, back when it was, social justice and speaking up and being martyrs for the generations and their grandchildren. Like, what would he have done then? But he's here now. So what is he going to do now? What is he going to do for the generations to come? What is his impact going to be on the future generations of his people? And that's a big purpose and meaning. Most people lack purpose, lack meaning. And, they end up doing all sorts of BS. When you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what your purpose is, you don't know why you're here, you end up doing some BS. And it is a difficult process to fully it's not you really do need to question yourself. You need to question things. You need to what's important, what's the things that are moving you forward. What is the bigger picture? How are you affecting your fellow man, your fellow brother, your fellow sister? What is the impact that you have on the world around you? It's an important thing to ask, and people don't think about this too much. And that's why those who have those who have who may not enjoy this album, who think it's too introspective, maybe too deep or too woke or whatever you want to, is those who really don't take the time to think about that. You're just wanting materialistic, like you don't want to really talk about the actual issues. You want to ignore all of that. You're self-centered most of the time. You're either ignorant or self-centered. You don't really want to delve too deeply in things like this, but those are the things that matter. And Dave did well to mention these. But yeah, if you got this far in the video and you enjoyed the video, you liked the video, then leave a like. Comment down below what else you want me to react to, and most importantly, subscribe. But yeah, it's the way life flows. It's been J2KHD here.
Teleporting, I've been caught in force of another moment, roped in, it's been holding, hoping it can take me back. I was done with hoping it was hopeless, I was hopeless, I saw hopelessness, felt hopeless, it was thoughtless, took my senses, take me back.